Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week we catch up with Denmark's #1 women's doubles shuttlers, Christina Pedersen and Camilla Ritterjul, as they tell us about their career. And we're in Thailand to talk to their newly crowned BWF World Junior Championship men's doubles players, Deshapol Pwavuranokro and Kittinupong Kethlin.
I was becoming good in badminton, but I also loved to play football with all my friends in the club. But I think I loved the individual sport, where it was up to myself to be good.
I did a lot of swimming when I was younger, but I think it was already when I was 10 or 11 I chose badminton. My whole family played badminton, and I think I was also pretty good at badminton at that time.
For this dynamic duo, football and swimming's loss was badminton's gain. Camilla Ritterjul and Christina Pedersen have made a name for themselves as Denmark's most prolific doubles partnership. They are part of a generation of shuttlers that have revived women's doubles.
Normally people say when the ladies doubles is playing, they go out for a drink, and then when they're done, they come back into the hall. We are trying to change it, and I also think the game is changing. It's getting faster, there's more smashes, a lot of more speed in women's doubles now. And often people also tell us that now it's women's doubles, it's actually fun to watch, and they don't go out for a drink anymore.
The duo began their career as mixed doubles specialists, but since being paired up at the 2010 BWF Uber Cup finals, they decided to do both. We sat down with the pair at the recently concluded BWF Uber Cup in Delhi, India. In between some friendly banter, the duo talked about the start of their partnership 4 years ago.
We did well at that tournament, so of course we talked about afterwards maybe it was a good idea to play together. So we had a talk with the coaches and our mixed doubles partners, Joachim and that time also Thomas Leborn, talked about that we wanted to play doubles because we think we could get good at it.
Both fell easily into the pattern and style of play of women's doubles and complemented each other on court by tapping into their experiences as mixed doubles players.
I wouldn't choose rather ladies double practice or only mixed double, because I think for us as a ladies double couple, it's really good to have the mixed training, the hard smashes, the power from the men, as we can use in the ladies doubles.
The training and experience of playing mixed doubles certainly helped when the duo nabbed their first Super Series title in 2012.
And the Danes celebrate! They've won the Malaysian Open title in their first ever final together.
Jul and Pedersen continued to make headlines, taking the gold in the 2012 European Championships and claiming the runners-up spot in the BWF World Superseries finals the same year. 2013 was even more rewarding. They were in 6 major BWF tournaments, winning 2. But it was the World Championship that stood out for them.
When we won our first World Championships medal last year in China, it's also one of the matches that gives me goosebumps when I talk about it, because it was really great to finally take a big medal together.
Winning the quarterfinals in a tense 3-setter against a resilient Chinese pair brought the 1.83-meter tall Jul to her knees.
I remember the tournament really clear. We didn't prepare that well because I have an injury in my neck, so I didn't practice the last 2 or 3 weeks before the tournament.
I did all the hard work.
Christina did all the practice, and I was just sitting next to the court and couldn't really practice 100%. So of course that was frustrating. But we went to China with pretty good confidence still, even though I have been out. And when we finally won the quarterfinals, we just fell on the ground and we yelled really high. And I remember after the match, we were sitting outside behind the court. And actually, I was crying a little bit because I was so happy finally to get the medal.
The pair have continued to develop. They triumphed at the 2013 World Superseries finals, and this year they grabbed the European Champions crown. Juul and Pedersen's consistency means they are now ranked third in the world, but they're not looking to settle. They are constantly aiming for improvements that will take them to the very top.
I have to work hard on the baseline to improve my smashes, my attack game. Normally Camilla is mostly on the backline and she has this big power smash as I don't have, so I need to to work with the angles and speed and stuff like that.
Is there anything?
No, not really. You're good enough.
No, of course, there's still a lot of areas to improve, and that's so great about this. Even though I have been playing so many years, I still find many things to improve. I have to move quick on court. I'm pretty tall, so it's important for me that I can move fast. Then we just have a lot of things we can improve together on court. The defense that could also be increased a little bit.
Be it in attack or defense, the passion and enthusiasm that Camilla Rytterjuul and Christina Pedersen bring will always entertain and excite audiences all around the world. While they continue to pick up titles and accolades, there is one ultimate goal in their playing career that they want to add to their collection.
There is a tournament in 2016, I think. That must be our next really big goal, the Olympic in Rio. We look so much forward to be a part of the Danish Olympic team again. But before that, there will come a lot of challenges on the way. World Championships on home ground this August, and all the other tournaments. There's still some we really want to do well in, but the Olympic is the big goal in the future for us right now.
Did you know the biggest shuttlecock in the world can be found on the lawns of the Kansas City Museum? It is 48 times larger than the real shuttlecock, 18 feet tall, and weighs 5,000 pounds.
If I wasn't a badminton player, I'd really like to be a golfer.
If I wasn't a badminton player, I think I would have hopefully finished my studies and have an exam by now, which I don't have at the moment, and probably would work as maybe a lawyer or something.
I would have been a physical therapist, probably.
If I wasn't a badminton player, I would love to be a professional tennis player.
If I wasn't to be a badminton player, I would like to go to university and study physiotherapy.
If I was not a badminton player, I would be a student at University of California, Irvine.
If I wasn't a badminton player, I would probably have completed my law degree and be a lawyer.
When we get back, we find out how the Singapore Foreign Talent Program is helping the country to take the next step. The battle for victory at the 2014 Li Ning BWF Thomas and Uber Cup finals came to an end on Sunday. Grueling, exciting and euphoric, the tournament had given the fans a fantastic week of badminton. In the Uber Cup, defending champions China took on Japan, who made their first appearance at the finals in 33 years. World number 1 Li Xiaorui gave the champions the lead with a 21-15, 21-5 win over the 12th-ranked Minatsu Mitani in a one-sided match. Japan drew level through their doubles pair of Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi by stunning Bao Yixin and Tang Jinhua 21-18, 21-9. It was the only point China dropped in the championships after cruising through unscathed in 3 group ties and 2 knockout rounds. World number 2 Wang Shixian started where she left off the previous day as she took care of Sayaka Takahashi in 45 minutes, winning 21-16, 21-12. It was left to the doubles pair of Zhao Yunlei and Wang Xiaoli to finish the job, and they did it in style, defeating Miyuki Maeda and Reiki Kakiwa 21-13, 21-6 in 37 minutes. That win takes China to their 13th Uber Cup title, proving their dominance in women's team badminton yet again. In the Thomas Cup finals, Japan, after putting in a sensational performance to oust the overwhelming favourites China in the semi-final, took on 5-time winners Malaysia. Up first was world number 1 Liu Chengwei, who defeated Japan's top shuttler Kenichi Tago in straight sets 21-12, 21-16. The first double saw Tan Bun-hyung and Hun Tian-hao fight to secure the second point for Malaysia. They eased past Kenichi Hayakawa and Hiroyuki Endo in the first game, winning 21-12. But the boys from Japan rallied to beat the Malaysians 21-17, 21-19, keeping their Thomas Cup dream alive. The tension increased in the next singles match as Kento Momota took on Chong Wei-feng. Momota dominated the game from the start and cruised to a 21-15, 21-17 victory, giving Japan a 2-1 lead. The second double saw Keigo Sonoda and Takeshi Komura square off against Go Vi-shem and Tan Wei-kyung. Go and Tan fought back after losing the first set and eventually took the tie 19-21, 21-17, 21-12, bringing the finals to an all-important deciding match between Takuma Ueda and Darren Liu. The nail-biting finale between Liu and Ueda kept their teammates and supporters on the edge of their seats. The match went all the way to the rubber as Takuma Ueda did just enough to win the deciding point for his country, defeating Liu 21-12, 18-21, 21-17. Cue celebrations. For Japan, this was their first ever Thomas Cup title. Both the Uber and Thomas Cup had lived up to their reputation as the best team tournament in badminton. We head to Singapore, the tiny island nation in Southeast Asia. The country's badminton lineage is linked to Malaysia, of which it was a part of until its independence in 1965. Although the sport continued to be popular after its breakaway, with some exceptional players, they have never been a major force. In 2000, the Singapore Badminton Association set out a blueprint to improve the standard of the game. The plan included recruiting foreign players and coaches. It was hoped these overseas talent would help boost the badminton fortunes of the country. Despite its critics, the program proved to be a hit. In 2006, Singapore reached the finals for the Uber Cup for the first time. In the Commonwealth Games the same year, the women's team captured silver and bronze medals. However, the winning streak did not continue for long. In 2013, none of the players reached the quarterfinal stage in the Singapore Open, and the team only collected a joint bronze medal in the SEA Games. The poor performances were seized upon by those who wanted the import of foreign players shut down. The SBA stuck to their guns and instead decided to reorganize the coaching structure in a bid to turn things around. They hired former national intermediate squad coach Liu Chiu-dong.
It is a tough challenge for me. In Singapore, badminton is still not up to standard yet. I hope that under my guidance, the standard of badminton will improve. We got young potential men's and women's singles players coming up. I believe after a few years of training, they will play well for Singapore.
There seems to be some positive signs of improvement already. Singapore qualified for the 2014 Li Ning, Thomas and Uber Cup finals. The first time the men's and women's sides have done so at the same time. Moving forward, Liu Chudong and his team have targeted the Commonwealth Games and Asian Games as tournaments at which the country must show some progress. For this to happen, the coaches will need to blend the different cultural backgrounds that the foreign talent has produced.
We really do need coaches that understand the different background so that they can tailor training program and communicate the right training program to the players. Not easy being a coach, but so far I think our coach has been doing a good job. In this case, in badminton, we do utilize the scheme to attract players that are interested to do well for Singapore. For example, Dani and Chayu are two good examples. Dani is from Indonesia, Chayu is from Thailand. They came here since they are very young, and they like it here. And as a result of that, they want to be a Singaporean and contribute to Singapore sports and the Singapore community as a whole.
In May this year, Dani Bawa Krisnanta and Chayut Triachat won their first title in the Malaysian Grand Prix Gold Tournament. Yet further evidence that the integration of foreign talent into Singapore badminton is bringing positive results.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to play in Indonesia because so many players there. Then I see there's better chance if come to Singapore, so I decided to come to Singapore. Yes.
For me, it's like, Singapore is, right now I can say it's my home. Yeah, so I've been maybe, I can say, half my life in Singapore and the other half in Thailand.
The country does have its own homegrown badminton players. Derek Wong Ziliang is a local player being groomed to be the next star. For him, the often controversial foreign talent scheme has been central to the growth of the game in Singapore.
I think from young, foreign talent has played a very important role in bringing up the level of badminton in Singapore. Definitely, there has to be a balance. Too many will also, discourage players from coming in because you'll be supporting the foreign players and you'll be neglecting the local players. So there has to be a balance. And also, the local players have to have a good mindset and think that these players are not here to, they're not here to steal any of the glory from you, but rather they're here to bring your level up. Because when you compete internationally, you cannot just have internal competition. It's not enough, especially in Singapore.
With a positive mindset, Derek and other local players are set to make the most of the foreign imports as they seek to take Singapore to the next level. After the break, we're in Thailand as we find out how their junior program helped its new junior doubles champions Deshapol Provaranakro and Kitinapong Kethlin.
It's gone wide! The 18-year-old from Thailand.
With the emergence of Thailand at the elite table of international badminton, many have wondered if there is some science to the magic. Has the country just got lucky in finding this generation of talented players, or is there something more? In Malaysia in April, they proved there was more to it than just luck.
I'm glad to have made history for Thailand, and being able to sing the national anthem was wonderful.
I'm so happy that I could help improve the reputation of the country. I was also pleased to make my parents proud.
Meet Deshapol Provaranakro and Kitinapong Kethlin, or Baz and Sky to their friends. The men's doubles shuttlers became the first Thailand players to win a gold medal in this category at the BWF World Junior Championships.
During the final points, I felt so much pressure and was so desperate to finish the match that I lost focus. I misplaced a lot of the shots. When we finally won the last point, I was relieved and very happy.
When we won, I was so happy. I was shouting and threw away my racket.
Their win follows on from their compatriot and current women's singles BWF World Champion Ratchanok Intanon's triumphs in 2009, 10 and 11. In terms of exposure of badminton in the country, it's huge and also validates the outstanding junior program it has in place.
In terms of the training program, we just don't focus on coaching the juniors to win at the youth level. We train them to be ready for the seniors. We want the players to excel at the juniors, of course, but also to think about their future. This helps them develop into better players. There is a long-term plan in our minds.
As for Baz and Sky, their doubles journey began just 2 years ago. They had both started their badminton development as singles players, but were not meeting the required standards set by their coaches. As part of the training program, coaches meet regularly to analyze performances. When it was decided that the two shuttlers were not up to par, it was felt that pairing them up would be the best solution.
After all the coaches had talked, we came to the conclusion that Kittunapong was too small to make it as a singles player. We also noticed Dechapol didn't have the range of skills needed for a singles player. We thought, why not try them as doubles and see how they play together.
The transformation was swift. The shuttlers were able to make up for each other's shortcomings.
I
knew as a singles player I had speed and strength, but honestly, I didn't believe I could compete at the senior level. But when I got a partner with the same speed and power, it was great. Once we developed our teamwork, we could really compete.
When I was playing singles, I liked staying at the back and was very defensive. But when I had a partner, it was much easier to stay at the back and be attacking.
The Paranavaravakro and Ketlan partnership began to make its mark on the junior circuit. In the 2013 BWF World Juniors Championship hosted by Thailand, they reached the quarterfinals. This year they were set a target by their coaches of reaching the semi-finals as part of their development schedule. But the win has put them on the fast track.
The competition is the most important and the largest badminton tournament at the junior level. After becoming champion, I have confidence and I'm ready to step up to seniors.
2 weeks after their victory, they were finalists at the Smiling Fish Thailand International Series. It was the furthest they have gone at a senior tournament. There is a noticeable air of confidence between the two, a sense that anything is possible. It comes with being champions, of course, but it also comes when you know the foundations have been set. Baz and Sky know where that comes from.
I'm glad that I attend SCG Badminton Academy. They give us everything: food, place to stay, and I have good place to train with. They've got everything here to help me develop as a player.
I'm so happy to be here as they have everything. They taught me discipline, to be organized, and most of all, how to be a good person.
For the governors of badminton in Thailand, there is no doubt that champions are built from the ground up. And if the country is to continue to make an impact at the elite level, there can be no compromise when training the youth.
The junior programs are important. If the players are to advance and compete at the highest levels, they must go through the basics of badminton at the youth level. If they do not learn at the junior stage, they will encounter problems later on.
Before we go, let's find out what's coming up in the world of international badminton in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, We catch up with Thailand's Porntip Baranaprasatsuk, and we find out about the sport in Africa as we sit down with Team Nigeria.